So I watched this video of Gary where he was doing a particular reading for a particular person, and here he claims that 3 and 7 are actually enemy numbers. I do not agree with that. I'm going to tell you why in this video. So just watch this video to the end so that you can have a better understanding. Now let's go. So let's look at the two birthday that was used in this analogy. We are looking at the female or the woman was March 19th, 1979, and she said her husband was 4th, okay, rather 22nd of April 1979. Now, what I have noticed in my own readings, I've spoken to thousands of people. And what I've noticed is that there's a very huge connection between 7 and 4, not 7 and 3. Now, there is a problem. The problem here is that those who have 4 in their birth date always argue a lot. Argument is one of their weaknesses. They are very argumentative. And now we also have the 7, so we always have 7 and 4 argue a lot more. Check most of the couples out there, we always have 7 and 4, and they argue a lot. So if you have 7 in your birth date and your partner has 4 in your birth date, you can leave a comment and let us know what you think about this. But that is where the problem is. Now, that is not really the problem, because I mean, couples can argue, make up together, and move on with their life. Now, that is not the main problem. Now, let me explain the main problem to you between these two couples. The problem starts with the man. The problem starts with his finances. When a lot of men are faced with or are in their challenging times, or face their challenging time more, which is very common to those in the 1970s, they face a lot of financial setback. That is the beginning of the problem. Yes, so in that regard, you see the husband isolate himself more, he isolates himself more. Then we see more argument, more issues, more conflict, just because of the financial issues. That is where the problem is, and that's why mostly most of the men in 1970s actually also have a lot of marital issues. It's tied to their finances. That's what happens. Now, most people that are not even in 1970s that tend to also face a lot of financial setbacks, more, they also are in this category. I wrote a case study on top billionaires, on why they had more marital issues in their challenging time. I wrote that. You can check my website, 7schema.com, to read the case study. But it is what it is. It has absolutely nothing to do with whether it's a 3 or it's the 7. Doesn't matter. The problem is the 7 and 4, and they argue a lot more. But that is not even the main problem. Yes, couples can argue and make up back. The main problem is tied to the finances of the man, which makes him less affectionate, no matter how wonderful he is. It is what it is. That's a proper way to do the reading. So Gary, hope you listen to this video as well. This is me correcting you on the things that you say, and you can prove me wrong. You can tell me if I'm wrong. All right, but I mean, I always be right about things like this. So yes, so we have more 7 and 4, 7 and 11, not 7 and 3. That has nothing to do with the 7 and 3. I wrote a case study on that also on my blog. You can read it. Cheers.